living legends are reaching me, sharing knowledge with you and me, teaching us how to lead with Sharon Lee. Sharon Lee. Sharon Lee. On the run. Sharon Lee. Sharon Lee. On the run. Yeah. Keep on building that synergy. One blood matters on you and me. Keep on building that synergy. One blood matters on you and me. Keep on building that synergy. One blood matters on you and me. Keep on building that synergy. One blood matters on you and me.
Like a television over here. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Jamming on this Friday. It's so much there. All right, guys, let's get it in. Welcome back to the third season of the Sharon Lee Briefing Podcast Show. Guys, we are on episode 9. 9 is a powerful number. It means completion, I believe. And we got someone that's going to share some real great mindset about leading from within, building legacy projects, and completing what you start, right? But let's just jump into what you know I like to do, which is always give a big thank you to my team, the engineer, Queen, smart video girl from behind the scenes. Am I rhyming this Friday, guys? Okay, Crystal Glenn. I just want to thank her for always showing up for us here on the Sharon Lee Briefing Podcast Show. I want to thank, all of you all. You are my faithful guests, and I want y'all to just share this out. But I want to thank Dana Parker for the theme song. I want to thank my nephew, Sharon, for the lighting. And also he has a song that we use in our video production too. So I want to thank him. And I do want to thank all of you all who are on the B2B, which is the Rosa's Business, the business team, for always supporting us, always showing up and making this about what? The community, right? Because that's how we do it over here on the Sharon Lee Briefing Podcast Show. So what are you going to do? You're going to share. You're going to share. And you're going to keep on sharing, right? And for those who can't watch it now, I look forward to you all watching it later. This is a Friday lunch affair that we do every other Friday. And it's all about telling our stories, guys. It's about telling our stories. So I'm not going to prolong this. Just know that you can watch us over on YouTube. You can watch us here on the Leading Within with Sharon Parker Facebook page. And you can just, make comments. You can ask questions. And you can just, engage our guests. So without further ado, I am going to bring up someone that I don't think I've ever met a day in my life. I don't think, and my phone just have to be ringing, but I don't think I've ever met this man a day in my life. And when I can get to my phone, I'm going to cut it off. So I apologize. But what do we do over here, guys? We laugh, we learn, and we lead, right? It's going to be a laughing Friday, okay? So I want Chris to bring up our guests, Sir Charles Carey. And I want Sir Charles Carey just to give a little snippet about who he is, not the whole, backyard, just a little snippet about who he is, and we'll jump into the interview. So,
okay. Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me on the program. It's been a long time coming. I've been waiting. No, that's all good. A little bit about me is that I discovered maybe a couple of years ago, 2, 3 most, that I am not what I thought I was. I thought I was this keynote speaker and motivational person and author and singer. And I found out that I'm a creator. At the end of the day, I am a creator. Now I'm a creator with purpose.
Sir Charles, I like you a lot. But when I say give me a little bit about yourself, I want to know where you're from. Where were you born? We're not going to tell your story yet. Where are you from? Where were you born? And tell me a little bit about who Sir Charles is.
I'm a complex person, I think. I am from New York City, from Harlem, USA. I'm a grandfather. I'm quite a few things. I'm a brother, I am grateful, most importantly, in a caption. But my upbringing was, I'm a New Yorker, and I learned the hard way. Went to the school of hard knocks, and then I graduated, and I went to Bricks University.
Okay, so were you born in New York?
Harlem, New York City is home. Always will be known as my home.
So, guys, I told y'all we gonna laugh and we gonna learn and we gonna lead over here on the Sharon Lee Briefing Podcast Show. Because what Sir Charles is not gonna do,
Lead to
okay,
the next question.
is get me to lead to the next question without telling you all that he was originally born in Washington D.C. Now I told him that I don't. I told y'all I don't know him, right? Y'all know I don't know him, right? So he can't do that. So, Sir Charles, where's your family from?
Culpeper, Orange County on my mom's side, and on my dad's side, I think it's the Carolinas in
Okay.
the deeper southern parts, from what I
So
could
you're a
find.
Southern boy gone, hip in New York.
Certified.
All right, I'm gonna leave you alone. I'm gonna leave you alone. Well, I just want to thank you for being a guest on the Sharon Lee Podcast Show. Your topic is the right mindset is all you need, especially when you're leading with successful legacy projects. So I want your mindset to be on what that looks like for you and what you think the audience needs to have it look like for them. How do you have the right mindset to lead from within with successful legacy projects? But before we get into that conversation, I like to give you a gift if that's okay with you. The gift is a little snippet of your legacy story, some pictures that we normally put together and put in a video, and we share it with the community because you got some introverts, some extroverts, people like to hear and people like to see. So we hope you enjoy your gift, and we want to get your feedback once it plays. So
Okay.
we'll play Sir Charles' legacy gift. All right, Sir Charles. So tell me what you think about the video. Is it making you cry over there?
Can we play it 3 more times without stopping?
Oh,
No, that was a good job. Great editing, great creativity. I thought it was really good. It really made me kind of like, it drew me in to me, like, wow, I remember this, oh, I remember that, So it was really well done. Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. That is your gift, and we're going to give it to you for you to share it with your family and friends. We'll create a YouTube link of it, and you can always just have it as a legacy piece. So let's just jump in it, Sir Charles, because I just want so many people to know that I do know you. I was only playing. You're my sweetheart, and you've been wonderful to me, and you've helped me out a lot with what I do here at Rosa, what I do with my Rise program, and just in general, because I can be a little pistol sometimes. But I just want to thank you for all that you do. So tell the audience, you say you want to be recognized as being from New York. Why?
Well, that's where I'm from. I mean, I that New York shaped and molded me to be the person that I am. Now, I truly believe, regardless to what experiences that I had and where I was born, I believe that my personality was more than less going to come out to be the person that I am, the type of person, the character, the temperament, et cetera, et cetera. Because of my life's experiences, it was dressed up with understanding and insight and all these other things. But for the most part, um, my life experiences, the bumps, the bruises, and all of the hard knocks has helped to shape me. And believe it or not, I think the biggest aspect of my character were my downfalls, the
Mm,
pitfalls. Hadn't that been
okay.
for those things, I would not be where I am.
Okay, a great answer. And I think about being from the country, always thinking of New York as this, just grand place where you get exposed to so much opportunities, but there's also a downside to it as well. I mean, anything you can think of is in New York, but it's that downside. So tell me about your family in New York, and are they still living in New York, or where's your family living at now?
I've got family in different parts of the country, but I still have a sister in New York. My children and my grandchildren, they're still in the tri-state, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. My cousins, I still have cousins in New York. So I still have family there. And some of my literally best, well, actually, some of them have moved, but some of my best friends from school still reside in New York City. I'm talking my high school, early college, and the places of worship that I attended as a young man growing up. A lot of those friends are still in the tri-state. So, yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So let me ask you this question as well. Um, when you were growing up in New York, did you get the feel? Because I'm looking at, of course, this month is Black History Month, right? And even though we celebrated over here 365 days a year for Rosa, but Black History Month, I'm wondering, you've gone to New York a few times and you still go now. When you were growing up in New York, is the culture like it used to be, in New York versus the way it is now? And if it is or isn't, why?
Well, there's a lot of things that have changed. Okay, gentrification is definitely one, but the world's climate has changed. So the culture in some aspects is the same. People that are from where I'm from, we still got the same swag. We still got the same understanding of who we are, whether we're doing well or not. But because of the climate of the country and how people are impacted, people of color, people that don't have means, it's not the same. What is the same is our communication with one another and our level of understanding on what it is. We know what's going down, even if we don't have a representative, and even if we don't have a quote unquote a voice.
Okay, thank you for saying I'm sharing that. I just want to give a couple of shout outs to our guests, Cynthia Lane, Maria Thorpe's, Catherine, and just y'all, just please share this out because, this is going to be a powerful show because we're talking about a man who not only came back from a lot, but presently is doing a lot around the country as he inspires individuals to have the right mindset on whatever they're attempting to do that's good for the community. So, Charles, let's talk about mindset. What does mindset really mean to you?
I think that mindset is the core point for almost everything in your life, regardless of where you are. If you're a teenager, you may feel that you've got your whole life to live before you make certain decisions. And that may or may not be true. You could be here today and gone tomorrow, here today and gone this afternoon. But with the right mindset, that is the platform or the foundation for what the rest of your life can and maybe should consist of. So if you have an idea of what you would like to do, what you would like to be, what industry you want to work in, you definitely need the right mindset to continue down that path and to make that path meaningful, for it to have a trajectory, for it to add up to something in the longest of long runs. And mindset is important as it relates to how you deal with things. I'm talking A through Z, one through infinity. People, places, things, your feelings, your health, your wealth. I mean, what you do, what you don't do, how you do it, how you look, how you don't look. I mean, the list goes on. Without the right mindset, even the things that I just said, that capsule of those 10 things, without the right mindset, you're not going to know how any of those things impact your life. Or here's another way of looking at it: without the right mindset, those 10 things will fall apart in your life.
Got it. So in a nutshell, to our audience, what I'm getting out of it is, things may not always be perfect. You're going to go through some trials and you're going to go through some tribulations out there, especially more now than ever because, like Charles said, the culture has changed. Some young people are not finding jobs because jobs are not readily available, at least professional jobs like we had the opportunity to have, right? Some people are not can afford to live in today's environment because it's so expensive, right? Some kids and some youth can't afford to basically go to college. So there's a lot of issues that's happening out in the community. And what I'm hearing you say is you have to have the right mindset to get through those challenges. Is there like a basic ingredients? Like if a young person is in school, what recommendation would you give them to have the right mindset? So by the time they graduate from school, go to college, get a trade or whatever, they can just keep on pushing through.
Well, as simple as the answer can be, it really takes a lot. And the reason why I say that is because peer pressure is tremendous. And most of us, even as adults now, we want to do what our friends are doing. We want to go where our friends are going. So if you're a young person, to separate yourself from what's cool, what's happening, what it is, what it look like, what's going down, what's up, it takes a lot. And this is why I say quiet is so underappreciated. You have to sometimes be quiet to realize what you have, to realize the things you can tap into that really fuel you and that will feed you, which is almost the same thing,
Yes.
and help you identify what's your sweet spot. What's the thing that makes you unique? What's the thing that makes you powerful? So if let's say if you're a 16-year-old, 15-year-old, or if you're even college bound, I'm going to target those ages specifically.
Sure.
In order for you to really flourish, you need some quiet time. You need some time with yourself. You need to know who you are. And the only way to really know who you are, yeah, you're gonna have to go through some things, but you got to be quiet sometimes so you can realize what really appeals to your spirit, what
So
appeals to your soul. And once you identify that, even if you change your mind later, once you identify that, now you have the makings of a beginning marker. Okay, I'm going to start here. I may change down the line, but I'm going to start here because this feels right. This aligns itself with me.
yes. So put that phone down for a while, get out of that phone, right? Maybe read a book. Maybe, take a field trip somewhere, maybe just explore and not be dependent upon technology, making sure that you do take care of the basics, get your education, don't play around in school because that's free, right? So get any trade that you can get while you're in school so you don't have to pay for it when you get out of school, but find out what that as Charles said, sweet spot is for you, what makes you happy, what's that passion for you, and then pursue that, but pursue it early, because time is not promising us. So Sir Charles, with that being asked, I'm gonna go back a little bit to your childhood. um were you that type of person? Were you that quiet person? Were you that person that was on the right path and then you were able to do what you had to do? Were you that kind of person?
I was the ever so curious person. I constantly asked questions and I got answers, but I'll be honest with you, I don't think I was really satisfied with a lot of the answers I got. My mom was my biggest advocate when I would ask her what this word means, or, you know, about a question about anything. And she pretty much always had an answer for me. But overall, my curiosity dug deeper, it yearned for more. And yes, I was a um, quiet kid. I wanted to be cool, I wanted to fit in. And when I finally got to the point in life as a young person that I did fit in, I was trying to prove something in the wrong way to myself. And that led to my early demise as a young person and led me down the path of substance abuse.
So we're going to talk about that. We're going to pay a couple of bills here, and we're going to talk. I want you to think about what Of course, you know what happened, but I want you to formulate it for the audience so they can get a true picture on what you went through as you went down that wrong path. So, Chris, if you could bring up the video, guys. We're going to Barnes and Nobles tomorrow for the book event for myself, Sharon Lee. Okay, we're the true synergy work, leading within. Yeah, the 7 defining principles of knowing who you are, right to birth greatness, that sweet spot that resides in you. Wrote about the book back in 2017, guys. I'm reading the book all over again. I am so amazed. It's been so many eureka moments in that book for me in the last few days. I can't wait to share it with you tomorrow. It's going to blow your mind. But I want Chris to show the audience how many people have put that book in their hand. And they're part of my now. I'm calling it a true synergy work movement. I want her to show that video for us. Thank you, Chris. Think it's really short and sweet. Where did Sir Charles go? It was really short and sweet. And what I would love to share about those images, guys, this book has gone all. Oh, here you go. Okay. This book has gone all over the country. It really has. So many people have helped me just get it out there. I want to thank, American Mothers for helping me get the book out there. I'm going to be having the book, presented at their convention in April. So I want to thank them again for always allowing me to share the book on their platform. I want to thank the National Congress of Black Women in Washington, D.C., who allowed me to bring some students into their establishments and share the book with them and teach them about what it is to, build true synergy and how to lead from within. I want to thank so many when we used to have a Robert C. Weaver Blacks in Government chapter at HUD. I want to thank all of those individuals for, going around the country who's formulating that NTI, or who used to formulate the NTI. And I shared that book all over the country. So it's really, really a true blessing for me to say that my dream has come true when it came to me sharing this book called True Synergy Works, Leading Within. So, Sir Charles, back to that question. What are some of the things that took you down the wrong path, and how did you come out of that?
Well, again, wanting to fit in was a big problem. And it's funny, I think throughout our life, the whole journey of our lives, we'll find that either we fit in or we don't. And there's a phrase that says, why are you trying so hard to fit in when it's obvious you were meant to stand out? But as a young person, I didn't get that. And I forced myself to fit in, which led to my substance abuse. And as a substance abuser, of course, starts maybe here and there. then maybe on the weekends, and before you know it, you become a full-blown addict, a full-blown substance abuser, which takes you off your center, takes you off course for the level of greatness or the level of talent that you could actually have. It slows your growth in many cases. Now, sometimes people come back strong and do this, that, and the third, but that's what it did to me. And if I'm a little bit off your question, please just reiterate the question.
You're on the right track. You're on the right track.
But eventually, when I was able to make that shift, the right shift, and I realized, wow, I've been wasting my time, I've been wasting my life, and I got back on course. Um, I realized I had work to do. I realized that me being able to get back on course after 20 some odd years of substance abuse, I had a lot to say. I had a lot I felt to make up for. I had a lot to teach, a lot to encourage, empower, and inspire people with because of I know that most people that are substance abusers, be it alcohol or any other substance, they do not bounce back. Now, today, I know marijuana is legal. I ain't hating on nobody. But the truth of the matter is, there still can be a decline in your overall growth or productivity, although we don't see it because when it comes to things like marijuana, it's a slow and gradual process that you diminish eye hand coordination, response, things of that nature. But people are going to do what they're going to do. But all I can say about that is good for those who have decided, well, I'm not going down that path because they will eventually outrun those that do still feel they want to do this and they want to do that. They want to drink, they want to smoke. But it was a big eye opener for me. I'm glad that I had the opportunity of bouncing back because I too have touched a lot of people with my books, my keynotes, and my workshops.
And we are definitely going to talk about that. So when did you bounce back? How old were you when you bounced back?
Wow. I didn't start to reverse the negative aspects of my life until I was 36, 37 years old. So
Wow.
at that point, I should have been really thriving, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me. But I wasn't. I was just waking up. And when I woke up, I was in a process where most people do not bounce back as quickly. Normally, when it comes to the recovery industry, they have what's like a 2.5 year process where they take you through all these different steps and programs to get you to come back to be a productive member of society. Well, I happen to be in a 6 month program, and the thinking was, why do we have this program? These people have been using drugs for years, and you think 6 months is going to get them back on the right track? So I was literally in the very last class or the last program that was being offered in a 6 month time frame. They
Okay.
said after class, we're abandoning that. We're going to go back to the regular 2.5 year program. But I chose to prove for myself that you can win. I graduated the program, I stayed clean, I got a job, I saved money, I got somewhere to live, and I moved out of the program and I've been clean ever since.
Amazing. Amazing. So I know we did a little pre-interview. Been doing that for a while now. We laugh, we learn, and we lead over here, guys. Y'all know this, right? We laugh, we learn, and we lead. So, um, your children,
Yes.
tell me a little bit about them. Tell me about, I know one thing we did in a pre-interview where you were sharing that your stepfather had shared something with you, and you present this in your presentation around the country as well. But you're saying your stepfather said something to you, and it reminds you of why you stay clean. So do you remember what that was?
I mean, he's shared a lot of things. I'm not sure what you're referencing.
About the mirror?
Oh, yeah. He told me that if you can't look at yourself in the mirror, that's a problem. And at 36, 37 years old, that was the beginning of my 180-degree shift. And the key is when he told me, if you can't look at yourself in the mirror, the very first time he said that to me, I was around 9 years old. Now, of course, I understood the word mirror, look at yourself. If you can't look at yourself, that's a problem. Okay, sure. But those words came back to me at age 36, like I said, 36, 37. And I'm thinking to myself, why am I thinking about this? And I had to realize you're probably thinking about it because you're a crackhead. You are a full blown substance abuser. You've been doing drugs for God knows how many years now, at least 25 years, and you can't stop. You may say you can, but you can't, you haven't, and you don't. And you have children. So what you gonna do?
Wow.
And that was
So
the
you
beginning of that transition for me.
Awesome. And then you also shared in your presentation that when you looked in the eyes of your babies and you realized that they were a motivator for you staying clean as well. So I thought that was very, very profound for you to come from a 6-month program versus a 2-year program, but still be able to just stay away from it and move to the next chapter, which we are going to get into right now.
Yeah, they
So
saved my life, I feel.
well, I know they're honored to have you as their father. They're proud
I
of
hope so.
you. They are. They are. They're proud of you. And I mean, no matter what, they're like, this is a man I can look up to. No matter how bad things get, if he can do it with the worst circumstances, what can I not overcome? And that's the message that should be shared with all of our children, because all of us guys have gone through trials and tribulations in our lives. Some people, it's just we live in America, right? We may not always have what we need, and we make bad choices when we hang around the wrong people. So I'm sure our children are looking at us now and they're saying, wow, they overcame that. What can I not overcome? So talking about overcome, leading into overcome. Again, I want to give some shout outs out there. I want to thank Cynthia, Lane. Y'all just definitely flood your, comments here, ask questions, let the community know that this man has gone through it all. He's gone through it all, but he has bounced back and he's doing some wonderful things to have people, change their mindset on how to live a productive life. So, but I don't want to keep too much focus on the bad stuff, but I do want to share one thing that I think is also how God looks down on us in a sense of trying to get us to do the right thing. And something happened to you, and it happened to you twice. What was that?
Well, first of all, I want to say that we look at the tragedy of substance abuse and things of that nature as bad, but it was purposeful, it was meaningful. But at the time, I couldn't see it that way. But as we move forward beyond the substance abuse, everything seemed to be fine, regrouping in life and moving forward. So now I'm trying to find out, where do I actually fit in? Okay, yeah, you're speaking a little bit here and there and stuff, so forth. And I was excited about being able to do that. But one day I was out and about, and my doctor called me, Dr. Rowe. He called me and said, I need you to go into the hospital. And I'm like, why? He said, because it looks like you got cancer. And I was like, come on. After everything that I've gone through, now you're going to tell me that I've got cancer? So, I had to deal with those challenges and, decided on what hospital to go to. In fact, I was speaking with you and I were together, and you were saying, go to the best one. And I looked up, I think it was George, what is it? George Washington?
Georgetown.
Georgetown University. And they pretty much wanted me to come in the hospital immediately. I was in intensive care for a few days, and I came home. Then they wanted me to come back, and I was in and out several times over the course of a couple of weeks. And they wanted to act immediately. And when it was all said and done, they said, "Look, well, that's the second time, honestly. The first time it was a challenge because I had a doctor and I didn't trust his word. I told him I wanted a second opinion, and he looked at me like I was crazy. He was like, "What do you mean you want a second opinion?" But anyway, the point is, first time, second time, when it was all said and done, I am grateful that I was able to go through the experiences of dealing with that plight, because again, most people don't come through very favorably. And for me to go through it twice, now I'm excited about not being able to speak and share my story, but okay, you overcome 25 years of substance abuse. You're a two-time cancer survivor. You need to get out there and share your message, which is why we are rebranding what we're doing now on the speaking side from a peak performance strategist to a health and resilience leadership speaker. So
Nice
I'm
to know
excited
that.
about all of this.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, God, I tell you guys, it's so much we can share. And I want to touch on every aspect of the substance abuse, the cancer. But you wrote a book about your experience with cancer. What was that book called?
A courage facing mortality. Cancer wasn't my only obstacle. And it
Wow.
covers everything from the drug abuse to the mindset of a young man who don't know which way is up, to the man that realizes which way is up, to the cancer survivor, to where we are today for the most part.
All right. So guys, let's do have a little fun over here. I want to lead into this because we laugh, we learn, and we lead over here. Remember, we're on the Sharon Lee Briefing Podcast Show. So for the first person that can guess where Sir Charles was originally born, I would like to get a copy of your book, Courage Facing Mortality, if that's okay, and give it to that winner. So, for the first person that can guess, please put it in the comments because we want you to win, and win today. And while you're doing that, I'm going to have Chris to bring up the Moxie Adore Alora flyer because I want to shout out this young lady who's, we're trying to inspire to have the right mindset as well as she, go into her next chapter. She graduated from high school. She's pursuing to be a cosmetologist, and she wants to start her own business. So, Chris, if you could bring that up for us. Um, that's for the event, Chris. It's the Moxie Allure flyer. There you go. So I want to give a great shout out to Shayla. I want to give a great shout out to you for getting ready to get your business together. And when I say getting ready, I'm saying you're doing all the preliminary work that's needed. You are coming up with your business plan. You're doing outreach. You're branding yourself on social media, and you're also going to school, or will be going back to school to get what you need to get and everything for your business. We are so excited for you. But guys, I want y'all to connect with her, Moxie Allure on Instagram. She is really, really, really good in doing hair, guys. Yes, that's my grandbaby, and I'm proud of her. But I just definitely want to share that. I also want to share that if we could share Sir Charles's video again, because I know he's well. Hold on, he's back. Okay, let's pause. So Sir Charles, just to kind of stay focused on what we're trying to do for this. Oh, you went to get your book. Okay, I was wondering. All right, guys. Yeah, look at this book. Charles, I remember you going, God, where was it? Nancock, Maryland, or Virginia to do a book event. Tell us about that event when you shared that book. You had a full house of people wanting to know about your story.
Yeah, I did a book reading in on Hancock, Virginia, several years ago, and talked about the book, the story of my life, basically, and how I came to be the person that I am now, some of the occurrences that I experienced, and how I got over them. That opportunity was one of many firsts for me as I was beginning to spread the message and share my story and hopefully inspiring others to be the best versions of themselves. They say before you can be the leader of some, you have to be the leader of one. So I continued to do what I needed to do until I wrote many of the other books, which is called the Radiate the Brain book series.
Yes, and we're definitely going to talk about that. So first, I want to congratulate Cynthia Lane. She is the winner of your book. She was the first one to get the answer. You were originally born in Washington, D.C. Is that correct or no?
That's what some people say.
It's too funny, y'all. So he's definitely making us laugh over here. So, Sir Charles, you got a lot going on, though. I mean, you got a lot going on, and I want you to share what do you want people to know you for? What really? What do you want people to know Sir Charles for?
Well, to be honest, of all the things that we've talked about thus far, and even the things that we have not spoken about, the songwriting, the performing with music and bands, and being on a reality show and being in motion pictures, that if I could do these things, and most of these things I've done in the latter part of my life, if I'm able to do all of this, what can you not do? Especially in trying times such as these. When what I mean by that, we see that the government is going whatever direction it is, whether you like it or don't. It's still difficult for the country. So there still can be joy. There still can be something that you can do to lift your own spirit, to inspire your soul, to make yourself happy, to be one with the Most High. And if you have not tapped into that, no matter what's going on, you may find that if I'm in the lane I should be in, no matter what's going on in the world, it's not going to take me away from who I am or who I am supposed to be.
That is amazing. That is amazing, guys. That is what mindset is all about. That's the ticket right there. Understanding what that looks like. So, Sir Charles, but still, I want to know what are some of the things that you're doing that you want people to know you for. I know you're an author. I know you're a coach. I know you are a national speaker. I know you are an entertainer. You're a singer. You get your own band. What is it that you want people to say, okay, if I had to go on Sir Charles' website, what do I expect to find?
Well, I would say what you just said it, but if I had to narrow it down, I would say that he is a successful overcomer, meaning that the odds that are against him, because he's a black man, because he's from the inner city, because he was maybe very reserved, all those things that you don't expect from a person with those personality types or characteristics. If he's able to do those things, he must be a pretty successful overcomer. And if
Mm,
he's able to do that, and I'm better at this than he was, what can I not do? So just take pride in knowing that if you know what I'm about, you know what I've done, and I hope you do know me for those things. Again, I wanted to be able to inspire the next generation that they too can do those same things and maybe even do them better.
that's right. So on the Sharon Lee Briefing Podcast show, guys, I just want to make it clear, okay? We're not promoting going down the wrong path and getting caught up in the drugs and drinking and all these things that's going to take you down. Not at all. I'm scared of anything messing with my mind. I may have done some stuff when I was younger, but I have not done it, when I got older, like maybe in my 30s, maybe 40s, I may have, said I may want something to drink, but I'm not going to do anything to mess up my mind because I feel like this. What God gives you, he wants you to nurture, right? And he doesn't want you to mess up that mind for whatever reason. So we're not, even though people overcome challenges because of substance abuse, that's great. We're promoting over here on the Sharon Lee Briefing Podcast show. Don't even go down that path. Don't even, stay away from it, period. I'm sure Sir Charles would tell you that the stuff they used to get in New York back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, in the early 2000s, this stuff is different today. You don't know what they're putting in stuff. Synthetic drugs, I've been hearing a lot about. I've been hearing that, people who've taken that has just fell right out and just was no longer here. So don't trust nothing that's shouldn't be in your body. Please curtail all of that. Try to focus on developing what God has already developed in your brain and nurture that to become the best version of yourself. So with that
And
being
it's not just
said,
about, I'm sorry. Also, it's not just about drugs because there's so many addictions. There's gambling addiction, sex addiction, food addiction. I mean, addiction is addiction. sometimes we just lying. People lie religiously, or they just they can't help themselves from getting into trouble. Whatever it may be. Some people are so drawn to negative behavior, gossiping, right?
Yeah.
Greed, gluttony,
Social
all
media.
these things.
Even social media, it's that's addiction, that's addictive. Okay, so your point is so valid. It's not just substance abuse, it's just like you said in the beginning of the show. Find time to be still and be quiet. So many gifts will come to you, because I'm telling you, I call something that my girlfriend told me. She passed away in 2000, and I want to say 14. No, it was 2010. Sheba Akil. She had mentioned this word. She said auspicious. And I said, Sheba, what does that mean? She said, well, Sharon, it means that things will happen and God will give you signs of what's happening. But if you're not conscious enough to recognize the goodness of that auspicious occurrence, you may have just missed a blessing because you did not pursue it. You didn't develop it. You didn't take that piece of paper and say, I want to be the PR for my family and I want to, get my family property back. Whatever the scenario may be, auspicious occurrence is stuff that happens to us all the time, but sometimes we're so focused on so much other stuff we miss those downloads from God. And I'm happy to share that in my book, True Synergy Work. That's all I talk about is auspicious occurrences, because I try to stay disciplined as it relates to understanding who I am as a person. Sir Charles, as I mentioned earlier, helped me a lot to formulate, some stuff in my mind on what I need to focus on for my organization. But I just wanted to share that slow down, as Sir Charles said, quiet yourself, as Sir Charles said. So, with that being said, we're going to pay another bill. Chris, if you could really bring up now the promo for the event on Saturday, the invite that Tanique has put together for us. If you could pull that up for us, please. Thank you. So, this is just showing you who my daughter is. She had sent out an invite. Here's the link to it for those to RSVP to tomorrow's book event at the Barnes and Nobles in Alexandria, Virginia. I'm on at the Potomac Yards. Y'all don't miss this. It's going to be amazing. So go to this link, register, and we look forward to having you tomorrow. Just know that you are going to be in for so much of a treat. I am looking for 5 authors to have your legacy book on the table with me. I am going to have a photographer there. So come dressed to impress, okay? You're going to have a wonderful time, but come dressed to impress. So Chris, can you also show the invite itself so that when they click on that link, they'll know what that invite looks like? It's going to look like this, guys, and you're just going to have to click on it. It'll open up, you'll provide your information, and then we'll get the RSVP immediately, okay? So definitely jot that down and send it out to your family and friends. Bring your children with you, guys, because it's about our history. This is Black History Month. So bring your children with you. Just know we're going to have a wonderful time, and you're going to learn so much about not only my family from Calvert County, but you're going to learn about all of the people that I've worked with in the community for almost 20 years now. So thank you, Chris, for sharing that. When we did the first event at Barnes and Nobles, we had our community come out, and we want y'all to come out again strong. So thank you. So, Sir Charles, getting to the next segment in the episode in this podcast show. So, you're a speaker, you're an author, you're a coach, you're a performer. What's the next project for you?
Well, again, we're in the process of rebranding the speaking from I shouldn't say general, but from a peak performance strategist to a health and resilience leadership speaker. Basically, I'm catering more to people that have gone through some of the things I have with substance abuse, with overcoming ailments, and trying to target, not trying to, but and targeting that market. It's probably underserved, but because of my background, I know that I can create massive impact. So when I'm not on that side of the mic, fortunately, again, like you said, I have a band and I have been producing music almost all my life. But most recently, last 5 years, I've produced about about 5 albums. The last 2 have done very well. So we've been performing around the city. I've got a wedding planned in April. I got a fundraiser in April. We've got we've been asked to come back to a place in Clinton, Maryland called Mix and Mingle in Clinton, Maryland on March 21st. So we'll be doing that with the band. And at the same time, I'm planning on putting out a new album, hopefully by March. So we've got our work cut out for us and quite a few things in the hopper, as they say.
All right. You have any speaking opportunities?
We're working on, well, we got to rebrand first because we want to make sure that all engagements cater to the new topics of the health, more specific related to health or substance abuse. So
Awesome.
once the
Now,
rebranding is completely done,
that's amazing. Great job. So, but you're doing other stuff too. You have a podcast show too, don't you?
sure do. It's called the True Moo Podcast, which originally was about true music, but what you find that in life, for instance, Sharon is not a musician, Sharon is not an artist, but it takes creativity to be to create different things. So there's creativity in business. There's creativity in creating a podcast. There's creativity in how the podcast is put together. She's got the smart video girl as her producer. It takes creativity to pull these different nuances together. So we're using and engaging our audience with not just creative people, but with business people as well. So that's the True Move podcast. And then I may have another podcast that I do on my own called Desktop Discussions.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, I want you to basically, if you had to tell the next generation at least three things to get them to have the right mindset, as you know, the condition of the world today, what would those three things, Sir Charles, be?
Well, being quiet and really being able to appreciate who you are is number one. So, in fact, I'm gonna write that down because I may even do a talk on it now that you're gonna surprise me with it. Huh?
You say what now that I'm going to do what again?
You surprised me with this question, which is a very good question. Well, number one, be quiet. Get to know who you are. Know self, right? Number two, learn to take the advice or learn from people that are doing what you need or want to do or what you're interested in doing, right?
Yep. We in
People
class, guys.
around
We in
you that have
class.
the people around you that have the experience that you do not have. Listen to them so you don't waste time, so that you don't waste your resources, your financial resources. And that's another and an easier way of learning. It doesn't mean you have to do everything they say, but if you do half of the things that they suggest, that they speak about, providing that they have actually done it, you may find that you save yourself a lot of time. That's number two.
Yes.
Number three, I'll tell you like someone told me, and I didn't want to hear it at first because, you know, when you're doing something, you want the answer. You ask a question, you want the answer. Well, I remember this is going back a few years. I asked a question of one of my friends, coaches, that's, you know, was doing much better than I am in the speaking business. I asked a question, and instead of giving me the answer, they said, trust yourself. I'm like, that's not the answer. Anybody can say that. But what I learned was in the long run, it makes sense. So here's why it makes sense. If you know who you are and you listen to your inner man and you're trying to do something, not any old thing, something significant, something meaningful, something helpful, and that can be something that helps you make money as well as helping others, the answers are normally right within you. So you have to trust yourself. Doesn't mean you're going to be successful immediately. You may have to make some tweaks along the way, but to
Okay.
trust yourself is so valuable.
All right. So roll those three off again. The first one is to be quiet.
Right.
The second one is to do what?
I forgot.
You wrote it down.
No, I was starting to. I got so much into. I think it
Oh,
was about
it was follow in the lead of
listening,
those who,
listening to others that have done what you have not done.
and the
You
third one
know,
is trust in
learning
yourself.
from them. You know, learning from other
Absolutely.
people, taking their
Absolutely.
advice and taking their suggestions. And the third one is to trust yourself.
Absolutely. So look, with that being said, you have had a lot of mentors, and I know you can remember their names. So I want you to roll off of that tongue of yours the mentors who have helped you with the three things you just shared.
Oh man, there's been so many. I've worked with and learned from Randall Pinkett from The Apprentice. I've learned and worked with, excuse me, George Fraser from the Power Networking Conference. I've worked with Cheryl Woods. I've worked with Simon Bailey, Jane Atkinson. I've worked with Delatoro McNeil. I've worked with and learned from Tony Robbins and Les Brown. One of my key people, though, I think the number one overall lifetime person that I've worked with and that I've developed a deep personal relationship with is Dr. Willie Jolly. When someone of his stature and status takes time out of their schedule, not for a fee, but, and I'm not even gonna say for free, they just take time, meet me over here, and you go over there, and y'all talk through this issue, y'all talk through this challenge, and they give you tips, nuances, and things that you can do, things you can try. It does not get any better than that. He's the most grounded, down to earth person that I've known in my business on the speaking side, that I trust and that I respect tremendously. Another person I'll throw out to, you may see him on YouTube a lot, Omar El Katrori. I think he's Indian of some sort, but I went out to Vegas a couple of months ago just to sit with Omar. And I mean, sometimes you can feel people's spirit.
Yeah.
So, they are a few of the top people that I've really worked with. And there are lots of others. I mean, there's a lot of other people, black, white, young or old, it doesn't
Yes.
matter.
Yes.
I've been very fortunate to work with some of the top people in the business. And the funny thing is, a good bulk of my clients have been people that are in ministry. And I'm thinking, why are they coming to me? But you know what? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth and realize that God is allowing you to work with certain people for a reason, even when you don't know what that reason is.
Thank you for sharing that. So, guys, y'all got it from the horse's mouth. This man talked about the having the right mindset, leading within with legacy projects. He has proven that he has changed his life from a child that got into some mischief and turned it around. And he's using all his creative skills. There you go. Those books, those downloads that radiate the brain to change the game, courage facing mortality, and whatever his other books are going to be coming out. What's so hard about being you? I love that because that used to be one of your workshops for the national. Yes, thank you for you. But you used to present it at the NTI for Black Blacks in Government. So thanks for sharing that book. But the point is, guys, the topic of this podcast today is really needed, not just for the next generation, guys. We have to be reminded as adults too, to revisit what God has put in us. We have to be reminded that just because we may think we know it all, we can always learn more. And we can always learn from young people, older people's, our seniors, our youth. Keep that in mind, especially for Black History Month. True synergy work is recognizing what that really, really means, guys. We can't do this thing alone. And we've been trying to do it for decades, probably centuries alone, and it hasn't been working for us. So, Chris, I would like for you to play Sir Charles' video GIF again so people can see another, I guess, snippet of how he has changed his life around. So if you could share that again. Thank you, dear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Charles, what do you? I would like for you, once I ask you to, share where people can contact you to share that. But first, I want to have you leave a message for your family, your children, your grandchildren, your next generation. Your relatives. What would you say to them about having the right mindset?
You have to separate. Hey guys, look, it's your pop up, it's your dad, it's your father. You have to learn how to separate yourself from the crowd at the end of any day. You have to separate yourself from the crowd. You have to quiet your mind and allow the real answers to come to you. A lot of times we get confused with this, that, we get frustrated with that and this. And I understand that's a part of life. Life cares about none of us, it's going to beat us all up. But if you can quiet your mind, you will find the right answers, maybe right in front of you. Trust your intuition. As I said before, trust yourself and make the right decision. And if you find it's not the right decision, be quiet and choose again. Radiate the brain and change the game.
Love it, love it, love it. Before we share how individuals can connect with you, I do want Chris to bring up the African History Month flyer, because I think that's very, very important for what is happening in the community now. So, Chris, if you could bring that up, I just want to chat about it just a little bit, guys. I shared with you all that True Synergy Works comes in so many forms, but True Synergy doesn't work if you don't work it. You have to be able to connect with people, collaborate with people, help people out in their projects, in their initiatives. I'm a former commissioner for the Maryland Commission on African American History and Culture during the years of 2013 up until 2015. I am still a commissioner because they just never let me go. They always want to invite me to projects, invite me out to their monthly conference. And this is a project that was launched about maybe 3 months ago. It's called the Government Affairs and Community Advocacy. And what this group is doing is exactly what you're seeing, guys. We are trying to build partners up in Maryland so that we can, help us get laws on the books in Maryland. I have them, we meet monthly. We coming up with some initiatives. We're doing a book drive. Take a picture of the QR code at the top, and you'll get more information about the book drive. But we'll be traveling all around the state of Maryland, listening to the people here in Maryland about what they need. I am responsible for the southern region of this initiative. So from Maryland, Calvary County, Charles County, Prince George County, you're going to be hearing more about me finding out who's doing what in the community. As you can see, I took a little screenshot at the top here, at the bottom, and it just shows us in the Zoom meeting, just brainstorming. But just know that, we're going to be having conversations with the National Park Association, National Black Children Development Institute, just all type of congressional bipartisan HBCU, caucus collaborations, and many, many more things we're going to be doing in the state of Maryland. So I'm just saying, when you talk about building synergy, true synergy, connect with those who are really, really giving back to the community at large. And that's what we're trying to do here on the Sharon Lee Briefing Podcast Show. And that's what we do for Rosa. And that's also what we do for RISE, the Rosa Youth Empowerment Series, making it about our next generation. So, Sir Charles, how can people connect with you, learn more about how to get involved with the projects that you're working on?
Sir Charles Carey, Inc.com. That's Sir Charles Carey, Inc.com for anything related to personal or professional development. And as it relates to the entertainment side, Sir Charles Carey Music.com. And it's just as the name is spelled, Cary. Carey is spelled Cary. So Sir Charles Carey Inc.com and Sir Charles Carey Music.com. You'll find a plethora of information about both sides for what they're intended for.
Amazing. This has been a wonderful podcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very much for sharing that. But also, how do they connect with you on social media?
Sir Charles Carey basically straightforward. And you find me on my pages. You find Wordsmith Speakers in Alignment. You find the business page, Sir Charles Carey Inc., and just sircharlescarey.com.
Awesome. Awesome. Guys, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Black History Month. It's the 20th. We got, what, 8 more days for this month, but we got the rest of, the year to celebrate it. And we're going to be celebrating it every year. Well, we do anyway, but we want you to celebrate it every day, 365 days a year. Look forward to seeing you all tomorrow at 1:00 at the Barnes and Nobles in Alexandria, Virginia. Thank you, Sir Charles, for an awesome awesome podcast. And thank you again, Smart Video Girl, Chris. Thank you, Sean Parker. Thank you, Shayla. Thank you all, our guests, Cynthia. I will definitely get that book to you, Sir Charles. Mail it so we can get that to her and everything. But you all are the best. Thank you.
Teaching us how to lead with Sharon Lee.
That's so much.
Sharon